Hello, everybody, and welcome to my TED Talk. Hold on, My name is Dr. Baby. I know everything about babies. And I have spent the last 6,000 years studying the mysterious life forms of a 12-month-old, 24-month-old, and a 36-month-old, and I am delighted to show you my findings. So for your 12-month-old, you typically see a very shy to strangers, cries a lot when mom and dad are gone. They don't like things that are unknown to them. They are starting to use gestures a little more purposefully, like, I'm going to hand you this book because I know you'll read it. Yes. This language development of this 12-month-old is very little at this age. It persists really of saying no and goodbye, maybe saying come or dad, mom, or uh-oh. They very much like to repeat what you say. It might be irritating, but you should use that momentum as a parent. For their cognitive abilities here now, this is really interesting. They like to throw things. They'll throw things at you. They're exploring. They might bang things too, or shake things at you. Don't take this personally. They're really just trying to understand the world. They'll help you find your keys. They know that things are hidden and they're gonna find them. So if you need help, moms, I know I do, ask your child, can you help me find my keys? They might just find them. They're starting to be like a little more independent with their abilities, so they might not want your help. Actually, they might be defensive with your help. They're wanting to be their own person. It's just really interesting. They also will start, brushing their own hair or using a cup correctly. They're not going to be upside down. They're not going to use the hairbrush on their legs anymore. They're going to use it on their hair. So it's really helps getting ready. And as a 12-month-old here, they're not standing independently just yet. They're not walking fully independent. They might attempt, and they may take a few steps, and that's time to celebrate. They may stand alone. That is very advanced, I think. But they may stand alone, and that is a pretty cool baby right there. Yeah, they might just pull on furniture or even pull on you as a parent to really just learn how to walk. And that concludes my information on the a 12-month-old. They're very they're quite complex, but they're just understanding the world more and their abilities. So now for a 24-month-old, also known as a 2-year-old in the non-science majors like I did at the University of Babies. They're roaming around. They're wanting to become their own person. Excuse me, let me take a sip of my coffee. They're social. They get really excited when they see people that are their same size, their age. They're like, wow, my gosh, I have a friend that I can play with. Their independence grows. They might almost be defiant because they're trying to understand things more. They're like, well, my mom told me to not do that, so I'm going to do it. because of my own independent little baby. They don't really interact too much with other children. They like to be like stacked next to each other, but there might not be including. They're still very egocentric, which isn't bad. They might be nervous for the world. So for recognizing people and their names, they're pretty good at this at 2 years old. They'll definitely know their family or the people that are around them. You could probably train them if you really want to impress your friends. I know how the parks get. They can say a sentence with 2 to 4 words. That's amazing. Like, Mom, give me milk. You know how it is, ladies. They're very repetitive of what you say, so be careful, parents. This is where they might learn a few words that you shouldn't teach them until they're adults. I know my parents did. Yeah, they're just a lot more engaged with communicating and being able to, say what they're thinking or things that they really love. So now, it's really exciting that they could help with your keys at a 1-year-old. Now, if you put your keys under 3 blankets, they'll be even more help. So, moms, that just keeps coming. That ability, that help, that's what kids are for, right? But yeah, they can sort colors. So, yeah, they know blues, reds, sort laundry, am I right? Yeah, just really great abilities of these 2-year-olds, excuse me. And they can start naming things around them. They can start naming, if you have a pet dog, they'll say, that's a dog, or a cat, or you're reading books about animals. They might be able to tell you more about what they're seeing. If they're very vocal and excited to share what they know. At this stage, the walking that's the norm. They're walking and they're moving, they're grooving. They may even begin to run independently. So get your fences up, ladies. They're climbers. They want to throw balls. They want to make circles and just be really playful outside and with their bodies. They don't know what their bodies can do just yet. So encourage that. As hard as it may be in an apartment like mine, there's lots of ways to kick balls, dodgeball. That kind of concludes the 2-year-old, 24-month-old research that I conducted in off of my sister's children. So I only really studied one child, so it's really valid and reliable information. And for the last but not least, the 3-year-old. How are you guys enjoying this TED Talk? It's a quarantine one, so it looks a little different. This would be posted in the Seattle Times, New York Times, a couple places in Canada, not to brag. The United Kingdom. Yeah, I'm just really well known on my doctor baby stuff. So, So for a 3-year-old, who has a 3-year-old? I was one once. They're fun. They're kind of like little adults in some ways. This is when they start to grow concern for other people. They're starting to come out of their independent shell, their egocentric shell. They want friends, and they're learning how that is done by caring. They can start understanding emotions, anger, sadness, joy, all of that stuff. And with the more knowledge of emotions, they can get upset. But they want to show you that they love you. They want to show affection to those without even having to be prompt. You know what it's like when a child hugs you and their mom didn't have to tell them. It's pretty special. So I would see that when they're 3, not 2 or 1. That's forced hugs most of the time. They can follow some instruction. They can, if you say, hey, let's clean up your room, I can help you, they'll be like, okay, let's do that. Or even 3 steps is a great peak in this stage of their life. They can introduce themselves. They know their name. They'll say, I'm 3, and they are dang proud that they are 3. They'll know if they're a boy or a girl too, and they might flaunt that as well. They also can name friends. That's much more than just the family members they see every day. They name their friends, which is they know that helps them create friendships. Babies, they're just so interesting. They can even talk with strangers well, actually. So they can hold that conversation compared to when they're younger, the people that know them can understand them. You know what I mean? Excuse me, my Irish coffee that I made this morning out of my bean sprouts is messing with my throat. So the rest of my research talks about the cognitive abilities of a 3-year-old. They love to figure how things work. They like to take things apart. They like to button and close. They like to unscrew lids. They like to screw them back on. Do puzzles. They like to start really developing these fine motor skills independently, and their imagination too with playing is just through the roof. Get those fantasy books out because they're gonna be wanting to read them. And last but not least, these babies, man, they're on the move. They will climb a playground structure if you are not watching them well enough. They are very confident in their abilities. They run much easier than when they were younger. A lot less falling, a lot less knees